Polar bear versus orca. Who would win in the ultimate Arctic showdown? When it comes to the most formidable predators of the Arctic, two giants stand out: the polar bear, ruler of the frozen tundra and sea ice, and the orca, also known as the killer whale, master of the ocean's depths. These two apex predators dominate entirely different realms, one roaming the icy landscapes, the other ruling the cold, dark waters. But what if their worlds collided? What would happen if a polar bear found itself swimming through open water where orcas hunt? Would the bear's sheer strength and endurance be enough to survive? Or would the orca's speed, intelligence, and pack hunting tactics prove too much to overcome? To understand the potential outcome of such an encounter, we first need to explore the environments in which these predators thrive. The polar bear lives almost entirely on sea ice, using it as a platform to hunt seals, rest, and breed. The Arctic ice is a harsh, unforgiving landscape where survival depends on endurance, patience, and the ability to travel great distances. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, capable of covering more than 60 miles of open water in search of ice floes or prey. However, these long-distance swims are dangerous and exhausting, leaving the bear vulnerable in the open ocean. In contrast, the orca is a creature of the sea, navigating cold waters with precision and speed. Orcas are highly social animals, living in pods that can number from a few individuals to over a dozen. Their oceanic environment demands agility, cooperation, and sophisticated hunting strategies. With no natural predators, orcas sit at the very top of the marine food chain. They use echolocation to find prey and communicate with complex vocalizations, making them one of the most intelligent predators in the animal kingdom. When it comes to hunting methods, these two predators couldn't be more different. The polar bear is a solitary hunter. It relies on stealth and patience, stalking seals across the ice or waiting silently by breathing holes for hours, sometimes days. When the moment is right, the bear delivers a swift, powerful strike, using its immense strength to drag prey from the water. Every hunt is critical. Failure could mean going hungry for days. Orcas, on the other hand, are known for their complex and cooperative hunting techniques. They hunt in pods, using strategies that have been refined and passed down through generations. Some pods specialize in hunting seals by creating waves to knock them off ice floes, while others work together to trap schools of fish or even take down massive whales. Their ability to coordinate attacks, flank prey, and adjust strategies in real time makes them some of the most efficient hunters in the world. When comparing physical strength and abilities, the differences become even more striking. The polar bear is the largest land carnivore, with adult males weighing between 900 and 1.600 pounds and standing over 10 feet tall on their hind legs. Their bodies are built for strength and endurance: powerful limbs, sharp claws, and an incredible bite force capable of crushing the skull of a seal. Despite their size, polar bears are surprisingly agile swimmers, using their large front paws to paddle through frigid waters. But even the mighty polar bear pales in comparison to the orca in terms of sheer size and power. Adult male orcas can weigh up to 12.000 pounds and grow to lengths of 30 feet. They can swim at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour and dive to depths of 300 feet. Their bite force is estimated to be one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of tearing through the tough hides of whales and sharks. The orca's immense strength, combined with its speed and intelligence, makes it a nearly unbeatable force in the ocean. Now, let's imagine a hypothetical encounter between these two giants. Picture a polar bear swimming between ice floes, searching for a stable platform after a long hunt. The bear, exhausted from hours in the cold water, is vulnerable. Beneath the surface, a pod of orcas moves silently, their echolocation clicks bouncing through the water. They detect the bear's movements. Curiosity draws them closer. Orcas are known to investigate and occasionally prey on unusual targets. Would they see the polar bear as a potential meal? If the orcas decide to attack, the polar bear would be at a severe disadvantage. In the water, the bear loses its most potent weapons, its powerful swipes and crushing bite, because it cannot maneuver as effectively as it does on land or ice. The orcas, however, are in their element. Their streamlined bodies allow them to move with incredible speed and agility. A single orca could easily outswim the bear, But with a pod working together, the odds become insurmountable. The attack would likely follow a familiar pattern. Orcas often hunt by ramming their prey, using the sheer force of their massive bodies to stun or injure. They might take turns charging the bear, forcing it to expend energy just to stay afloat. The polar bear, strong and resilient, would fight back, swiping at any orca that came too close. But each attack would weaken the bear further. Unlike seals or smaller marine mammals, a polar bear could not simply outswim or outlast a coordinated orca assault. However, what if the encounter took place closer to the ice? Could the polar bear escape onto a floe before the orcas could strike? In such a scenario, the bear's endurance and swimming ability might give it a fighting chance. Polar bears can swim at speeds of about 6 miles per hour and are capable of making sharp turns when close to ice. If the bear reached the ice, the tables could turn. Orcas cannot haul themselves onto the ice, and the polar bear would regain its footing and advantage. But what if the ice is thin or fragmented? Orcas have been observed creating waves to break ice floes, knocking seals into the water. Could they attempt a similar tactic with a polar bear? Given the bear's size, it would take considerable effort, but not beyond the capabilities of a determined pod. The orcas could repeatedly slam the ice or create waves, forcing the bear back into the water where they could resume the attack. Another critical factor is motivation. Orcas are highly intelligent and opportunistic but rarely attack prey that poses a significant risk unless the reward is worth it. Would a polar bear provide enough sustenance to justify the energy and danger of an attack? While there have been few recorded interactions between polar bears and orcas, climate change and melting ice caps are forcing these predators into closer proximity, making such encounters more likely in the future. If we consider defensive strategies, the polar bear's best chance of survival lies in reaching stable ice. On solid ground, the orca's speed and power are useless. The bear could use its size, strength, and endurance to hold its position. However, in the open ocean, far from any ice or land, the polar bear stands little chance against a determined orca pod. In a one-on-one confrontation, the orca would almost certainly emerge victorious in the water. The sheer size, speed, and intelligence of the killer whale, combined with its ability to hold its breath for extended periods and dive deep, gives it an overwhelming advantage. The polar bear, despite its incredible strength and endurance, is simply not equipped to battle such a formidable opponent in the ocean's depths. However, this doesn't mean the polar bear is without strengths. If the encounter occurred in shallow waters or near ice where the bear could use its claws and powerful limbs, it might fend off a lone orca. But against a pod, especially in deeper water, the outcome is almost inevitable. In the end, a clash between a polar bear and an orca is a battle between two worlds, the icy surface and the deep sea. The polar bear reigns supreme on land and ice, unmatched in its ability to survive and hunt in one of the planet's harshest environments. The orca dominates the ocean, using intelligence, cooperation, and raw power to control the seas. Each is a perfect predator in its own domain. When their worlds collide, the outcome depends entirely on the environment. In the water, the orca holds all the cards: speed, power, intelligence, and the support of its pod. On the ice, the polar bear reigns supreme, where its size, strength, and endurance make it untouchable. This hypothetical encounter reminds us of the delicate balance of power in nature, how the environment shapes predators and how, in the Arctic, survival often comes down to being in the right place at the right time.